Let's get right down to it. We've got one chapter of Ultramarines. These guys have bolt guns with explosive rounds. There's about 1,000 of them. They are joined by some Dark Templars. There's two chapters, so about 2,000 of these guys. They've got chainswords, so they're going to get right up in it, get into melee. And then we've got a heaping pile of orcs. These guys are all wielding choppas. They'd be happy to work in any kitchen in the galaxy. This fort is surrounded on all sides. So there's about 500,000 on each side. One chapter of Dark Templars on each of two sides. This should be a good, proper crumpin'. Very excited to see both sides line up. Obviously, there's vastly fewer Space Marines. The Dark Templars with their chain swords, obviously putting a lot of force behind it here. It's great to see. We got orcs flying all over the place, blood flowing. What a lineup. And now we can start to see some of the covering bolt of fire come in from the fortress. All of the Ultramarines pretty much started inside. We've got a nice little break in the wall there. We'll see how that plays out in the future. Around this side, there's one gate that should get pretty spicy after a good amount of time. We've got some Ultramarines already outside, taking targets of opportunity, just firing into the masses. And on the front side, more Ultramarines outside. And it looks pretty bloody out there. We've got another firing line here, looking good. Yeah, it's getting red out here. Here's our other line of Dark Templars, and they look to be pushing in nicely. You can see the body count. They're trudging through up to the heel, in some case the shin. It's been pretty grim the whole time, but it looks like it's also going to get dark soon. The sun is going down. Just a crazy amount of carnage going on. Orcs being thrown left and right. It's kind of funny. You see some of the Dark Templars peel off the line because some of the orcs they hit go overhead and they've got to sort of sweep up. But yeah, there's plenty more orc where that came from. This is just getting started. You can sometimes see that bolt of fire when it all just sort of crisscrosses in one spot. It just rips up a bunch of orcs. But the orcs are pretty diligent, and they're okay with a good scrap. So don't count them out yet. So over here on this other side gate, it's kind of blown out. You can see that they've got this sort of long strip of land between those two bits of marsh to get through. That's going to be a big challenge for the orcs. But there's really not very much defense on this side, interestingly enough. It just looks like 3 of these guys holding down the fort. That could get interesting soon. Oh, that guy holding the corner fell. There's only 2 left here. And they are starting to peel in. That's the thing about orcs. There's so many of them. You know, once they can start getting around and enveloping you, you're in trouble. We'll be back there soon. Oh, looks like there is some backup showing up, so hopefully they can hold the line there. That was a little dicey for a second. It's already getting bloody, and there's so much orc out there. Now this opening in the wall looks like it's pretty thoroughly defended. They can stand to step out a few paces and get a little bit better firing lines going, but it is what it is. Once again, we're up to the shins in the good stuff. Yeah, look at that. It's just tearing through them. But every orc is just eager to get up to the front, get a few swings in with that choppa. Dark Templars definitely availing themselves well. Looks like the orcs are trying to wrap around them though, but these Stardies, not having it. They just keep adapting. Alright, let's see if backup over here has managed to staunch the flow a bit. So many orcs. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, that's turning into a right proper mess. Not sure that there's enough Ultramarines to hold this spot. It is getting pretty messy. That's a big pile up. Oh yeah, there's a lot more. It's getting dark. Couldn't see them all. Oh, look at that. Yeah, it's like 6, 8 feet high of just body count. Back out front, blood everywhere. We got plenty of covering fire inside the base. Look at all those bodies. Oh, it's just piling up, but they just won't stop. Yeah, this corner around that little pond there is definitely a mess. Well, we're down a little over 250 Space Marines at this point. Down a bunch of orcs. Still plenty more. They have split the attacking line in half, which is very impressive. All we can see is just bodies in the middle there. This will be interesting to see what the Black Templars on this side end up doing with this. If they could fold up this whole side of the fort, that would be amazing. It would leave a ton of pressure from the other sides. And there is a ton of pressure. Everyone out here is just firing up. It's a shooting gallery. But, you know, Space Marines are getting killed. Not a ton of them, but you can see that number keeps ticking up. I'm guessing a lot of that is in melee. But in some of the sort of compressed fire, like right here, if things start piling up, more and more orcs, are going to get in there and get a swing or two in. And they do some decent damage. Not easy to get that close. This is just a blender. Crazy looking at nighttime, all that bolter fire just lighting things up, orcs flying left and right, but they just keep coming, and it's piling up. It's definitely piling up. I think they may have overcommitted to this gate, but we'll see how that plays out. Turning to the back side of the fort. Oh, they got a little bit of action here. I think, I think the front from the side is, piling in. Any place orcs can find space. They're going to squeeze in, try to get those hits in. That's piling up nicely. Right over on this front, it looks like they've split things as well over here, which is very interesting. Dark Templars definitely clearing things out. It's a really long line though, and it's very thin in the middle. There's a lot of orc that can get in there and sort of wrap around and flank. And we got piles of guys over here. Yeah, they're trying to make their way across the water. That's awesome. They're so diligent. I love orcs. They just want a good fight. Alright, let's see how this gap is doing. It's certainly bright. Man, those bodies are piling up close to the height of the wall. I think in another 5 minutes it may be as high as the wall. Look at that. Devastation. Oh, amazing. Yeah, it's interesting, you know, some of the orcs have gotten tossed up onto the ledge. We'll see how that that goes for a bit, maybe if this pile gets big enough, they won't have to turn that corner anymore. Back out in front. Everything pushed back. Everything pushed back. A little worried about those Dark Templars on the right there. They're way off in the middle of nowhere. They probably know what they're doing, but they are way far away from their covering fire. And they are getting flanked up. I wouldn't say that they're quite getting rolled up yet, but definitely in a precarious spot. Back on the other side of this line, this looks a little safer. And obviously there's still an amazing amount of carnage going on. It looks like they may wrap around a little bit sooner, we'll see. And these orcs are just like a flood of bodies, and depending on what targets they take and what they choose to do, there's an ebb and flow to it, where in one case, you know, for a few minutes you feel like you're doing pretty good, and then all of a sudden a couple 100,000 show up and you get swamped. Front side of this castle is looking, fort, it's looking pretty locked down. That lake in the corner of the keep is preventing all these orcs from really managing to wrap around and cause trouble. Basically just walking into a line of fire like good proper orcs do. Fearless, getting bounced about. That's a good pile up right there. And zooming back over. Still plenty of orc. Oh yeah, another pile up right here. The guys are just lining up. I wonder if they'll make it over that wall. Oh, look at that. Right up to the side of it. Amazing. Just explosions everywhere. Target-rich environment. The Ultramarines are holding it down, though. Just keeping that fire going. It's a good thing this game doesn't count ammunition. I'm looking forward to more mods for this. Right now, there's very few. But if you spend some time and sort of like tweak the stats on the different characters, you can get some pretty good battles going. I actually spend more time tweaking combat values to get a decent fight than I do actually recording. Oh yeah, it's a good pile up too. It's like an escalator of death. It's fun to just watch the bodies flipping around. Back over the carpet of bodies. Oh, those are live. Ah. Put a lot of orcs in this one. Yeah, we're definitely split up here. This is getting interesting. A lot of orcs on that side decided to pile all the way around. Some of our Dark Templars are looking like they might get hung out to dry. Yeah, these guys are way far away from that firing line. Everybody at the fortress is preoccupied at just plugging up holes. Fire support. I mean, you still see some shots going overhead, but none of it's really focused. Look at all that blood. And all that orc still. You can see the kill count every once in a while on the top right. I yoink it out. Take a few screenshots here and there. About a third of our Space Marines are downed. The total kill count and remaining on the orcs is below 2 million because some of them just, I think, croak from drowning. And other mishaps. Interesting. These guys done? Oh, they are done. They're making a move. They're gonna go hit some other fronts. That's awesome. Finished chopping. Oh, you guys are way out there. I got a bad feeling, guys. Calf deep in blood. What a mess. What an absolute mess. I love it. And it's daytime again. The situation out here is definitely a little precarious. You can see how many orcs are making their way up. A lot of these Dark Templars are injured. I don't think the models take on blood from their enemies. I would guess the bloodied ones are probably, I don't know, half hit points. It's getting thin out here. Only in death does duty end. We'll get back to those guys in a minute, if they're still around. Yeah, still trudging forward. Good job, orcs. Look at that pileup. It's interesting, you can see the Ultramarines are starting to fan out further from the fortress to get some sight lines, because you can't see over this hill very easily. I'm sure some of them are probably, yeah, you can see them climbing up. Shooting just over. But yeah, this is a great spot. One of the great things about this game is that it has like a living history as you just let it play. Like, I'm not controlling anything but the camera right now. But you can see where the fights are based on just the absolute heaping piles of bodies. All the choke points. And this edge of the fight continues to entertain and amaze. Yeah, we got a few guys up on the walls just taking pot shots. The guy in front's charging a nickel. I can't tell about so much blood. I can't tell if this is overcommitted here or not. You can see that kill count ticking in the top right. I'm guessing a lot of orcs have actually drowned because the numbers don't quite match up anymore. I also don't think it counts as a kill when one of them gets flipped up in the air on the last of their hit points or on the way down. I think it only counts like bullets and direct strikes. So a lot of those guys are getting nixed by getting tossed about. Well, this is cleaning up. I mean, there's still tons of orcs here, but it's no longer an endless sea of them. Unless you count the dead bodies. In which case, definitely see there's more guys. I wonder how this corner's doing over here. That looks pretty precarious. Yeah, you guys definitely overcommitted. You can just see how they're wrapping around on the right side. That's what they're trying to do, is just envelop all the time. And when these Dark Templars, when there was more of them and they were a little closer to a full line, you could see them push back on the edges. But right now they're split up enough where I don't think they're going to get support from those guys in the back. Yep. An honorable death. Man, they're still putting in work though. Lord. I mean, if you're going to go down swinging. These guys are definitely making these orcs pay for it. I love watching them get bounced around. Just a few left. Just 4 of them. Well, looks like we're down to 3. Move 2. You guys are heroes. Done and done. Orcs sort of look around for a minute. What to do next? And they're off. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out there in a few minutes. Those Black Templars back there had more support. So hopefully they'll see it through. Yeah, more gunfire. Oh yeah, everybody's lined up here. Look at that firing line. Got guys out front firing out the side. Long distance covering fire. Not even covering fire, they're just thinning the ranks. Yeah, out front, all quiet. I think that right flank out in front finally bit it. Oh yeah, these guys are done doing work out front. They're going back to support. That should definitely change things out back. Having a lot more melee out there. Good time to lend that support. Back to the gateway to hell. Not as much fire going on over there. Got this nice river of blood though. Yeah, these guys have thoroughly cleared this. They're not firing all the way around the side. They'll probably, yep, they are starting to wrap around and envelop. Ooh, here comes backup. Oh, this is great. Business is done in front. Time to party in the back. Surprise, fellas. Oh my god, look at that fire. Yeah, you can just see that kill count rattling away. Way back out here, let's see how our boys are hanging out, see what they're up to. Yeah, they're covering each other now, which is good. Every once in a while they gotta sort of run back a little bit and pick up some stragglers, but very stable out here. So much death. I do wonder how long they can survive out here, though. Like, there is a lot of Space Marines. There's a lot of orcs, too. And that hill probably isn't helping much. You got them streaming across the water. Smart move. Avoid that other side entrance that just turned into a gutter of death. Oh wow, this spot is like almost cleared out. Look at that pile. Ugh. Yeah, that bolter fire is just devastating. Just absolutely thinning those orcs out before they even get into the melee line. This is almost done business in this little corner. If you live in a place that gets a lot of snow, this orc piles a lot of times. It's like a snowdrift all the way up to the height of the door. See those pictures? Devastating. That trickle across the water of orcs has stopped. You can see the body sticking out of the water. Oh. Got some Astartes thinking about making... Oh, some of them did make the way across. Looks like it's shallow there. Oh my god, these guys are going for it. Look at that crowd. They're like, yeah, we'll just walk across and fight all of these orcs. Why not? Oh man, that is like crazy bravery. And you guys could be hanging out with your crew, but we're just gonna come out here and fight our way across the water to get to the big old mob orc. They're doing well too. Could get a little spicy when the four of them actually, maybe three? I don't know if that fourth guy's gonna hang out. When they actually get into the crowd, they could end up paying the ultimate price for this little move. Ooh, but we're starting to get some fire coming through, thinning this out. That could make things very interesting. Yeah, that bolter fire from long range really helping out. Those three guys are still there. This line looks good. Oof. Little sparse. Little sparse over here. Almost getting pushed into the, I was going to say water, but blood at this point. Those guys are going to definitely need some relief, but, I mean, they're taking all this pressure, yeah, off of the keep itself. Oh yeah, this is just mopped up. don't you guys go help your buddies out? There we go. Cavalry. Oh, it just looks awesome. Tromping through the blood. Yep, these guys are just putting in work. Gotta get all the way to the enemy. Swim your way across. 3 of them are still intact. They're not taking on too much damage. That's a nice place to get your drinking water from. Yeah, these guys are in trouble. They're pretty cut off. There's like endless orc to deal with here. But they're still going. For the Emperor. I don't know, maybe they'll make it? They look pretty hurt. Tough to tell. Oh! And then there were 2. Oh, guys. Truly noble sacrifice. Oh, last man standing. Give him hell. Oh, good effort, guys. Stemmed an amazing tide for a while. Certainly a crazy act of valor. We're down to under... Wow, we're almost down to 15,000 orcs left. That is almost nothing. Cavalry is pushing hard. These guys over here? Okay. It looks like the cavalry relieved some pressure. So now they're just mopping up so much blood. So many bodies. Crazy that there was this much fighting this far out. Oh yeah, destruction. Everyone is just blasting over this area. Getting down to about 5,000 orcs left. Oh yeah, just carving through them. Holy cow. I wonder if those are the guys that went all the way around. I wonder if that was that old right flank from the front. Still like 10 or a dozen of those guys there. Savages. Almost down to just 500 orcs. This is it, folks. After a long time of tweaking stats, positioning, trying to get everything just right, this happens. I'm pretty sure there's an orc hiding under a body somewhere. All the carnage. Not 3. Not 4 missing orcs. 1. And the AI is not moving. They have no idea where he is. Thankfully, the Emperor not only protects, he's probably got some amount of orbital weaponry, so I think it's going to be fitting that we just call in the exterminatus and find this guy. I think he's under one of the piles of bodies, if I remember correct. Felt my heart stop. Let's see. Wanna play hide and seek? It's not there. Sorry to the couple Space Marines that ate that. Yeah, I think he's over here. Hey, we did it! The Astartes win with a little help from an orbital bombardment. Oh, that one guy that hit in the end. Wouldn't you know? Anyway, I hope you liked Lakes of Blood, an amazing Waaagh, plenty of Space Marines chopping things up. It's fun. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks a bunch. Bye-bye.